I really appreciate you joining me today, and this is some news coming from the West Midlands. We've got a breaking news update in relation to the elderly gentleman that was attacked while he walked home from the mosque 2 days ago. Police have confirmed that they've arrested a male in Dudley Road, Birmingham. He has been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder, and thankfully the elderly gentleman is in a stable condition in hospital, and our thoughts are with his family at this time.
Even though those injuries were really serious, he is in a stable condition and his life is not believed to be at threat. In the last few hours we've arrested a suspect, and that was while officers are out making inquiries into this case. What I would do is encourage people to keep an open mind, to be confident in the action that we're taking. We're still making active inquiries out in the community, reassuring people. We'll be seeing more officers out and about, particularly engaging around mosques and with the Muslim community to make sure they're safe. I would encourage.
In this episode, it's a roundup of street news coming from the West Midlands. You may have seen the other episodes I did last week. Two thieves were caught on camera stealing 59 Ford Fiestas in thefts across the West Midlands. The pair used transmitter devices to gain access to the vehicles that were parked inside train station car parks. They would use ankle grinders to also break steering locks. Kaine, Guest-Scott and Theon Lynch were arrested in November 2022 after a major crime investigation. CCTV shows them in September of last year in the West Brom area in the Hawthorne Station car park. When the police raided their addresses, they found equipment that was used to break into cars and also transmitter devices and other keys that belonged to stolen Ford cars. At Birmingham Crown Court, they were jailed for 4 years and 1 month this week. And Sergeant Mitch Darby from the Vehicle Crime Task Force said this was a great result, and Guest and Lynch were very brazen with their crimes, and we're glad that they've been jailed today. This episode is dedicated to Barrington Patterson, also known as Zulu Baz, who passed away a year today, and we're also going to commemorate a new bout that has been created in his honour. Before I start, I want to congratulate Leon Edwards for retaining his welterweight championship bout in his trilogy fight against Kamaru Usman. In some other sport-related news as well, the wife of the late Zulu Baz, Tracy Patterson, has awarded for the first time ever the Baz-Patterson bout to Tommy Hench, who won his fight at Ginger's Dingers last week. So this bout is definitely a brilliant way to immortalise and also extend the legacy of Baz following his death. So rest in peace to Zulu Baz, and big up to Tracy Patterson every single time. I've been to 3 murder scenes this week in the West Midlands. It's been very busy and devastating for a lot of families. The first scene that I went to was on the 11th of March, and it was in Walsall, and it was the murder of Akeem Francis Kerr, who was 29 years old, and he was killed in Valesha's nightclub that's formerly known as Coliseum on Newport Street at around 5 a.m. on the 11th of March. There was a large police cordon when I arrived at the scene, and there was a lot of traffic being diverted, and several streets were shut down. On Tuesday night, police arrested a 39-year-old male in South Yorkshire on suspicion of murder. He's been returned to a West Midlands police station to be questioned. The police are still gathering CCTV, and nobody has been charged in connection to his murder yet. Only 2 days after his murder, somebody was attacked in Paul Street in Walsall with a machete. And this comes only 2 months after Bailey Atkinson was murdered in Walsall Town Centre with machetes. 9 people have been charged in connection with his murder, so we can't discuss anything in relation to that any further until the trial has also completed. But this definitely goes to show that Walsall's got a massive problem with violence, and to make sure that nobody else loses their life while they're out enjoying themselves. More information and pictures of this story are available on the website, and don't forget to send your news to news@scarcitystudios.com. And rest in peace to Akeem Kerr. The second murder scene that I attended this week was in Vale, which is on the other side of Birmingham, and 2 men suffered serious injuries, and one of them sadly lost their lives. Not long after this incident occurred, several people were arrested on the other side of the city in Northfield, and today 2 people have been charged. They are a father and son called Amid Alcino and Bashar Alcino, and they have been charged with murder, attempted murder and assault that occurred on Cadbury Drive, Vale. A 56-year-old male received stab wounds, and despite the best efforts of emergency services, he died at the scene. A 27-year-old male remains in a critical condition in hospital. Chief Inspector Dave Sanders from the homicide team said, "Our thoughts are with the family, and they are being supported by the police. We would like to reassure people this is an isolated incident and is not gang related." So I want to send my condolences to the family of the man who has sadly lost his life. He hasn't been identified yet. And also, let's hope that the man that's in a critical condition makes a full recovery. And in this third murder from Birmingham in Shard End, it's the murder of Darren Smith. He was murdered at 3 p.m. on Wednesday the 15th of March outside Heathway Shops, and he suffered severe head injuries. The police believe that it may have been a robbery, but they haven't confirmed that. The investigation developed very quickly, and 3 people have already been charged with his murder. Lee O'Brien, aged 53, Luke O'Brien, 35, and Lewis O'Brien, 31, all from Birmingham, have been charged with murder and remanded in custody. So due to that being now a trial that will be going on, we can't discuss that story any further. But I want to send my condolences and thoughts to the family of Darren Smith. And I'll definitely do an update after the trial. So really appreciate you joining me for this update. Please don't forget to follow on Scarcity Studios and send your stories to news@scarcitystudios.com.